In this video, when is a roof rail not really a roof rail? The MG5. If you're in the market for an electric car at the moment, you may well have heard of it. MG's second entry into the electric vehicle market in the UK after the ZS EV. It's a sort of Focus Astra estate size car. It's got quite a lot of people quite excited if bland estate cars are your thing, because nobody else is currently making an electric estate, a fully electric estate. So if you're looking for an EV and you quite like an estate, the MG5 might well fit the bill. And it is not a rebadged Volkswagen Passat. No matter how many times you say it in comments on Facebook, it's not going to make it true. Please stop it. On the whole, it looks like quite a decent offering, really. 214 mile WLTP range, so it's got a bigger battery than the ZS. Reasonably well appointed in the interior. Like the ZS, comes in two trim levels, Excite and Exclusive. And the Exclusive has this sort of fake plasticky leather seats and stuff. Looks like it's quite well appointed. Certainly it's very similar in quality to the ZS, I think. Had a few reports that actually the seats are slightly better, slightly more comfortable. Missing a few of the driver assistance things. You don't get MG Pilot and you don't get some of the sort of driver aid things, which a lot of people think just nag them anyway. It's up to you what you think of that. I think some of that stuff is of good value, some of it not so much. Like the things like the forward collision warning and stuff. My ZS has that, and it's okay, but it can be a little bit sensitive and a little bit too eager to make you think you're about to have a crash and what have you, but I guess that depends a lot on your driving style. MG5 loses a lot of those features. Don't think it will fare too well if they ever get round to putting it through the Euro NCAP testing as a result, because these days a lot of those electronic aids are really quite important for the testing. So crash safety wise it can be pretty safe, but if it's missing some of the electronic stuff, might not fare too well. Time will tell on that front, I think. But I mean, one bonus, the charging flap opens in a more sensible manner, and it flips out rather than the weird sort of pushing up thing the ZS does. So I'm sold on that, to be honest. It's much easier to get to. Priced competitively as well. You pick one up for low 20s, depending on what kind of deals you can find. If you're eligible for like the MG Affinity scheme and stuff, you can pick them up for just under 20 to 22 for the Exclusive. I think the list price is sort of 23 and 25 for the two different models, but there's definitely some discounting going on already. Very competitively priced, very similar money to what you'll find a ZS EV for at the moment. So the extra range for basically the same money, I can see why that would swing you. And obviously it is an estate as well, so if that's your bag, if you're in the, oh I can't stand SUVs, much prefer an estate, perfect car for you, I think. So it sounds good really, doesn't it? Sounds good. Unless you're one of the many people that buy an estate car that want to carry stuff on the roof. The Exclusive model comes with roof rails, and the marketing for the MG5, the early brochures, and then there was big point of sale pictures in the dealerships and stuff showing bicycles on the roof, exactly as you might expect if you're buying a sort of compact estate. You want to carry some bikes, lob them on the roof, happy days. A lot of prospective customers, and even those who had actually placed an order, were a little bit surprised when they were told by their MG dealer that actually, following an engineering review of the roof load rating, the roof rails were actually now deemed to be for decorative purposes only. They're non-structural and they will be rated to carry 0 kilograms. So even if you've got the lightest carbon fibre push bike out there, you can't put it on the roof. No roof rating at all. And that came as a blow for quite a few customers. And there were some cancelled orders as a result. Yeah, with quite a few people are like, well, I put stuff on the roof all the time. If it can't carry it, the car's no good for me. I'll need to buy something else. And obviously, like a lot of EVs, it's not rated for towing either. So in the case of the MG5, when there's not an internal combustion engine version of it, you probably can't even find a tow bar that'll fit it to then put a bike rack on the back. It's not rated for towing. Why would they bother making a tow bar for it? The ZS, you can find one because there's a petrol version that is rated for towing. So if you wanted a tow bar just to put a bike rack on the back, you could do that. That would be easy to do, not so much with the 5. I can see why people were a little bit annoyed by that. And so there's been a bit of news coverage on this recently. They even made it to like the Daily Mail. Not that I think the Daily Mail is the last word in journalism, but at the end of the day, they're still I guess, considered to be a major news outlet, and which covered this as well. So there's one chap called Les Burrows, and he's been very vocal about this subject on some of the Owners Club forums, and he's on Speak EV as well. He'd ordered an MG5, and then when this came about, he was shocked that they could change the specification in such a way, and then they bury the bit about the weight loading or the lack of it, the fact the roof rails are decorative only, deep in the handbook under a section about instrumentation and controls. Not the best. And he has very grave concerns that it's okay with the first owner being told by the dealer, well, look, you can't put anything on the roof. So the roof rails are there, but you can't use them. But the second, third, fourth person down the line, when the handbook's long gone, you know, it gets lost, and we've all bought second-hand cars. We've all bought cars that, you know, bit towards the end of their life, and the handbook's long gone. And you might see the roof rails and think, oh, sorry, I can strap some stuff on there. That must be why they're there. And you could potentially cause an accident. And I saw that at first. I thought, yeah, okay, maybe a little bit of an overreaction. It's maybe a little bit over the top. But I think there is a valid safety concern there. And it turns out, I think MG understand how damaging this could be to them as well. If you read the articles in the description, they've actually said if you have an MG5, and it's affected by this issue and you need to carry stuff on the roof, speak to your dealer and they'll lend you a ZS EV, which does have a roof that's rated to carry a load. If you have the roof rails like mine does, like the Exclusive, you can actually do that. It's rated to do that. So they'll lend you one and you can use that to move stuff about if you need to. Not sure how long they'll want to keep that up for, but maybe that's how they think they'll sell some cars. I think their handling of the situation could be a little bit slicker though. Last Friday, the 15th of January, they issued communication to all of their dealerships in the UK saying that actually they'd had the engineers look at it again and they'd revised the load rating and you could carry 35 kilograms on the roof. And obviously, naturally, the dealers reacted to that and they started telling their customers, that either the people that were waiting on cars or the people that had cancelled orders or just anybody they could, as you would if your business is selling cars, actually look, the problem with the roof rails on the MG5 has been sorted. They'll carry 35 kilograms, a little bit on the low side, I think. It's definitely a little bit lower than even what the ZS EV is rated for. But the engineers have looked at it, it'll carry 35 kilograms. Happy days. And no, it's good news. Some of the cars that are in limbo can be delivered. Some of the cancelled orders might get turned around. Everybody's happy. Not so fast though. A few hours later, on the same day, they issued another communication to the dealers saying that, actually, we jumped the gun on this a little bit, guys. The engineering review isn't finished yet, and you need to not tell anybody that they can actually take any load at all. So remove any Facebook posts, you know, cancel any communications, and go back to the line that actually it can't take any weight at the moment and we're still reviewing it. What on earth is going on here? Do you know anything about your product? Do you know what it can and what it can't do? I mean, what kind of engineering review has gone on that you've rushed out to release to your dealerships and then had to retract at the last minute? Just what are you doing here? And I've seen a few people saying, oh, you know, it's a changing world and it's a new market for them and stuff. MG have been selling cars here for quite a while now. It's not that new to them. And I've seen a couple of people saying, oh, well, we're not in the EU anymore and that might make things a bit different. The MG5 was on sale before the end of 2020. They were being delivered before the end of 2020. So if this is an EU type approval issue, it should have been done then, not now. The whole situation is just shambolic, really, isn't it? Constantly flip-flopping between yes you can, no you can't, maybe you can. You know, how can anybody trust the word you're saying if that's the way you're going on? And it's just making MG look thoroughly amateur. They really, really need to sort this out and sort it out quickly. Whatever the outcome may be, whether it can take a load or not, they really do need to sort this. What do you think? Would the lack of usable roof rails put you off at all? Do you regularly strap stuff to the roof? I know I don't. My ZS EV is rated for it and it will do it if I ever wanted it to, but I can't say I ever want to. If I've got to move awkward stuff, I'll hire a van. Obviously, I'm not an avid cyclist, so that's probably maybe one of the reasons why I don't think it's that big a deal. But for some people, I totally understand it will be. Personally, I just wish MG would clear this mess up. Tell your customers what's actually going on, tell them the truth, and let them make their own decisions as to whether they think the vehicle's suitable or not. And unfortunately, I think if they leave it much longer, the decision might get taken out of their hands. Some of these cars have been delivered, and I'm led to believe that the complaints have been made to the DVSA about this, about the fact that they might not actually be fit for purpose, and the safety implications of that. And I don't know how far that will go or where it will get to, but they won't want that to drag on for too long, and they might well want to get their finger out and get their act together. The media machine's already churning, and we all know how that can go. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.